demonstrate and explain the original Yang form that was taught to me by my Chinese teacher, Yang Hou. I've been practicing for 17 years and teaching for 15 years this fall. Master Chu is the third adopted son of Yang Shou Cheung. This is his father and his father. The Yang family have devised the most popular and most integral form of Tai Chi, which originated in the Chen Village. Yang Cheng Fu put together a form at the turn of the century, which is the form that his son, Master Chu, practiced and I have taught, known as the original Yang form. Tai Chi is a derivative of Taoism. Taoism developed from a nature cult in China as far back as about 2000 BC, and some even date it 2500 BC. It derived from the philosophy of the I Ching, of which here you can see a popular diagram of the Yang symbol, the Yin symbol, and the pre-birth order of the trigrams. This trigram here means heaven, this the earth, this is fire, this is water, etc. I will explain those in a little more detail in a minute. Tai Chi, each move is based on a posture that is related psychologically to the principle that relates to the trigram which it represents. This therefore has a profound effect on the body, because the principles of the I Ching are psychologically responsible for the well-being of the body and the mind. Therefore, if the postures are correctly practiced, the meridians, which is the Chinese electromagnetic energy force field map, which you see here, allows the Qi, which is in English is translated as breath or spirit, to flow through the body. This clock is every 24 hours, whereby the Qi will flow through these meridians every 24 hours, cleansing, nourishing the blood, looking after the organs of the body, which each acupuncture line is responsible for. Now, if Tai Chi is performed correctly in accordance with the principles of the I Ching, the energy of the body is thereby balanced. Illness occurs when the Qi of the body goes out of harmony. This here shows a clockwise, with Yang turning in a clockwise fashion, Tai Chi diagram. Now, if this dark side were to expand in a human being, relating to a human being, the body then would be too yin, and this allows the body to be dilated and perhaps a little bit lethargic. Tai Chi takes the Qi of the body and returns the Qi back to balance. So if it's too yin, the Qi comes back to being yang. If the Qi is too yang, it restores it to yin by the virtue of its movements and the intention behind each posture. When Qi is blocking in a meridian, it will disturb an organ or a joint at a later date. So the Tai Chi form that was developed by the Taoists over the centuries came to the Yang family in about the late 18th century and was transmitted by those teachers to myself, enabled one to balance out and harmonize the energies of the body to increase the health potential and even life expectancy of somebody who practices regularly. I would like just to make one closing comment by a gentleman who He is little known, but quite well respected and quoted. And that is Carl Gustav Jung. He was responsible for the Wilhelm version of the I Ching being translated into English by Carey F. Baines. I will leave you with a quote from Carl Jung, and that is, "The body is the mere visibility of the soul. The soul is the psychological experience of the body." There is now a chemical saying in both the East and the West, that is the squaring of the circle. Now, Tai Chi is an Eastern method of squaring the circle, i.e. making the unconscious energies of the body conscious. Now, when you build a house, if you put a roof up first without a good foundation, the roof is going to fall in. So we start by building a good house, like a tree that's going to last a long time, with good roots, and that is the feet. And I'm going to show you the limits of the posture so the feet will balance out with the rest of the body. The feet must always be kept in a forward stance, shoulder width apart. So we have the square and the width of my shoulders. At the forward stance, the foot has to be turned still slightly forward, and you will find that on the diagonal will create the forward stance. Now the knee must be over the toe. The hip must turn very slightly without causing any restriction in the groin area because of the meridians that run down the front, which you don't want to bunch like a motorway that's jamming up. All the energies come together, like 3 lanes going into 2, which we all experience. So this area has to be opened up. The tongue chin, which is situated at the centre line of the body, must turn in to the knee, which in turn turns into the ball of the foot. Back leg, as you will notice, the knee is over the toe, pointing to it, and is at the opposite end of the square. Now, one is standing such that you can raise the back leg without moving the body. When the root is clear, the hips are relaxed, slightly turning in towards the weighted foot, which is the Yang leg, over the Yang foot, in this case the left. The spine must be kept vertical, to allow the chi to come up over the Umo meridian, which is a governing vessel up to the top there. The tongue is kept from the roof of the mouth to join the governing vessel and the conception vessel. Now the Yang side of the body is the hard side. On the arm, it's easier to demonstrate, that is the Yang side. All the Yang meridians run down the hard sides. So on the arm, the Yang meridians, the large intestine, small intestine, etc., run on this side. The Yin side of the arm is the soft side. The heart and the lung, etc., which are Yin organs, run on the Yin side of the arm. The Yin part of the body is the front, so the front must always be kept slightly concave, whereas the back, which is the Yang side, must be kept slightly convex. This allows the chi to flow from the front to the back as we are doing the form. The Yang side of the leg is the outside of the leg, therefore the inside of the leg, being the inside, has to be hollow. And the same for the feet. The Yang side of the foot, hollow inside, Yin. So therefore we create a Yin-Yang flow of energy through the body as we're doing the form. Same with the arms, same with the hands. This is the Yin side of the hand, that being the Yang side, therefore the front is always kept hollow through the form. I'm just going to show you the alignment with the front posture. So the weight is on my left leg. Therefore the knee is over the toe. The front is slightly turned in towards the ball of the foot where the weight is kept. The spine is kept vertical. So the chi can flow up the spine. The back leg, the knee relates to the toe. The elbows must be kept over the knee or relate to the knee at all times. This is to stop wasting chi. The shoulders must be kept loose and down to cause the chest to be slightly concave, i.e. hollow, allowing the chi to flow back down. Forward stance. Now the backward stance obviously appears in two forms in the Tai Chi form. Now if you had a back stance with the foot out, this would cause the hips to lean, the chi to block one side or to open too much and restrict the other. So to keep the hips parallel, in the back stance the foot is drawn across. So the heels are kept in line with 70% of the weight on the back leg. The same rule applies. Knee over toe, knee relating to the toe. The spine kept straight, front hollow, etc. Now there are two back stances. One where the heel is placed down, or the ball of the foot. I can do about 2 or 3 postures to show you what I mean, and then we will do the form using yin and yang breathing. So a forward stance, and this would be left side. Forward stance, right side, i.e. my weight is on my right leg. And now I'm going to dress the arms in the Lao Tzu Alpu, or the Brashni and twist position. The back stance comes in 2 forms. You raise hands, Tai So, where the heels are in line, and the foot is turned up. And on the ball of the foot, and the crane beats wings. Quite simple. Now weight distribution on the yang leg is always 70% full, 30% empty. Forward stance, therefore, 70% of the weight is kept on the front leg, the left stance, and the back stance, 70% of the weight is kept on the back leg. Tai Chi is based on the principle that there are 2 forces in the universe that have split from the one force, or the Tao. Therefore one has a yang expanding breath and a yin contracting breath. Now taking the Taoist philosophy of opposites, if there is an outer breath, there must be an inner breath. During the Tai Chi form, and Qigong, which I will explain at the end of the tape, the concentration, or the fire of the mind, must be kept at the Tan Tien, in the centre of the body, just below the navel, the concentration, which is the mind's eye, and this is kept below the water energy of the body, which is derived from the kidneys, and it's known as Jing, or the primordial essence, or the generative force of the body. When mind fire is put under water, steam occurs, which is qi. Qi naturally flows through the body, as I explained earlier, every 24 hours. If one successfully completes the form, naturally, according to the principles of the I Ching, the qi will harmonize in circa 13 minutes. So it's a very effective way of keeping good health. I'm going to do the form, showing you each posture that is delineated into a yin move and a yang move. Now as yin is a closing energy, We shall inhale and do what the Taoists call the reverse breath. So as you breathe in, the Tan Tien is drawn in. As you exhale, the Tan Tien is extended, the belly is extended, and one breathes out through the nose, in and out. I shall show you the first 2 or 3 moves and then go through the whole form. So the first move is a yin move. One set, shoulder width apart, and this is now a drawing in breath, which is yin. Yin. Yang must follow yin. Yang move. The breath is let out. The diaphragm is extended. And the qi is thought to the periphery, into the hands and the feet. A yin move. The qi is drawn in from the periphery and thought back along the inside or the yin sides of the body. I shall now demonstrate the whole form, delineating each posture into a yin move and a yang move. To recapitulate, yang is an outward breath, expanding the qi. Yin is an inward breath, which contracts the energy back to the center. In so doing, it cleanses, irrigates, and balances the qi, or the vital force of the body. I shall now demonstrate the original Yang style, Tai Chi form, delineating each posture into Yin, which is a closing breath, Yang, which is an expanding breath. In Taoism, Yin is when Qi is contracting, therefore this will be represented and acted out by an in-breath, and Yang is an expanding form of Qi. When I say Yin, it will be the beginning of a Yin posture and the in-breath. When I say Yang, it will be the beginning of the expansion posture and the out-breath. To begin with, one imagines that qi is flowing outwardly on a yang movement from the Tan Tien down the yang side of the leg, the hard side, simultaneously up the back and out of along the yang sides of the hands, and arrive at the end of the yang breath on the heart points of the hand and the water points of the foot. This is kidney 1, this is heart governor point 8. The hand points are known as fire, and the foot points are known as water. The balance, or the weight, is always kept over the ball of the foot, kidney 1. So a yang breath allows the qi to expand by imagination to begin with. Just think it out on the yang sides of the body to the yang finishing point on the hand and the feet simultaneously. Yin breath is drawing the qi back from the heart centers and the hand centers, back along the yin sides of the body and the legs and the arms to the center. This then balances off the yang qi and yin qi that has, for various reasons in our modern lifestyles and dietary changes or even travelling, allows the qi to actually center. When one travels from country to country, particularly long distances, and one has jet lag, it's because the meridians have not caught up with the solar clock. So, if you do Tai Chi, it can actually assist jet lag. I'm now going to do the Yin Yang form. The movement starts empty, i.e. from Wu Qi, which is nothing. I now Yin, in-breath. Yang, out-breath. Think out to the periphery along the hard side. Yin, breathe in and draw the qi back to the center. Yang. Yin. Yang. Yang. Yin. 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 In breath. Yang, exhale. Yin. Yang, take the chi out. Yin, draw the chi. Yang, extend the chi and breathe out. Yin. And yang. Yin. Yang. Now close the first root. Yin. Yang. Yin. Yang. Yin. Yang. Yin. Yang. Take the chi out and exhale. Yin. Yang. Yin, sink slightly. Yang, think up. Yin, raise the head. Yang, extend the chi and sink. Yin. Yang. Yin. Step. Yang, exhale. Yin. Yang. Yin. Yang. Yin. Yang. Yin. Yang. Hooks up. Yin. Yang. Yin. Yang. Yin. Yang. Yin. Yang. Yin. Yang. Yin. Yang. Yin. Breathe in. Yang. Exhale and expand the chi. Yin. Yang. 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 Yin. Breathe in. Yang. Exhale. Expand the chi. Yin. Think the chi in. The in breath. Yang. Think the chi out. And exhale. Yin. Yang. 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 And on the tongue. Yang, expand. Yin. Yang. Yin. Yang. Yin, pulse out. Yang. Yin. Yang. Yin. Yang. Yin. Yang. Yin. Yang. Yin. Yang. Yin. Yang. Send the chi out. Yin, draw. Yang, expand. Yin. Yang. Yin. Yang. Yin. Yang. Yin. Yang. Yin. Yang. Yin. Terminus for the second root. Yang. Yin. Yang. Yin. Yang. Yin. Yang. Yin. Yang. Yin. In breath. Yang. Out. Yin. Contract and withdraw the chi. Yang. Expand. Yin. Raise the top of the head. Yang. Sink and breathe out. Yin. Yang. Yin. Yang. Yin. Yang. Yin. Chi drawn. Yang. Think the chi out as you breathe out. Yang. Yin. 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 Yang. Yang. Yin. 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 Breathe in. Yang. Let Qi flow out. Yin. Yang. Yin is in breath. Yang out. Yin, draw the Qi in of the breath. Yang, expand and breathe out. Yin. Yang. Yin. Yang. Yin. Yang. Yin. Hook sound is always yin. Yang. Yin. Yang. Yin. Yang. Yin. Tracking. Yang. Expand as you gently move forward. Yin. In. Yang. Out. Yin. Yang. Yin. Yang. Yin. Yang. Yin. Down and see. Yang. Yin. Within. Yang. Out. Yin. Yang. 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 Breathe out. Yin. Yang. Yin. Breathe in. Yang. Breathe out. Let the chi flow out through the body. Yin. In. Yang. Expand and exhale. Yin. Yang. Yin. Yang. Yin. And then the terminus of the Tai Chi form. Stand very still for a minute. Let your mind lie. Keep centered at Tan Tien. And one can just put hands on the Tan Tien, which is situated at the navel. The right first for the masculine and the left first for the feminine. Both palms together. And just keep them gently on the Tan Tien. About 30 seconds. Allow the breath, the inner breath, to return to the center, and calm, and bring your outer breathing back to a natural flow. We're going to demonstrate the form. The first root of the form. Tai Chi form originally was done in 3 sections. The first root was the earth, which relates to the lower part of the body and stability. The second root related to the center of the body, which is a human condition, yin and yang, male and female. And the third related to heaven, or the spiritual goal of a Taoist alchemist. The first root, the earth, is to ensure stability, the correct alignment, and I shall explain the form, the first part of the form in more detail to assist the practitioner with the other 2 roots. One ensures, before you start the form, that the weight is on the balls of the feet, which is kidney point 1 on the sole of the feet. The knees are not locked or too bent. They are loosely straightened. The hips relaxed, the spine straight, the head over the spine, the eyes gently focusing forward, the tongue in the roof of the mouth, the chest slightly hollowed, and the arms and shoulders loosely hanging down. The first movement, the body weight shifts, the spine aligned, a vertical position, and the hips and shoulders in a horizontal position to stabilize the chi at the center of the body. The mind is kept at the center, and as we went through the Yin Yang form, the first movement is an in breath. We are now what's known as a double weighted posture, where it is the only time in the form that the beginning and at the end of the form where the weight is evenly distributed on both feet. The hands gently raise up on a Yang move. Yin, the breath is drawn in as the hands gently float down to the side. The second move symbolizes the tying up or tucking in of the long tunics that the Chinese nobility used to wear. Now the weight is shifted onto the right leg such you can lift the left leg so the Yin Yang is clear in the lower half of the body. One steps forward, not where the heels are in line, but in the squared posture, with the heel gently going down, rolling the weight into the ball of the foot as the left hand comes up into Barn, Tan Barn, which is single-handed Barn, and the right hand floats down to the side. This symbolizes heaven and earth, Barn and Kun. Chen, Kun, Barn, Loi. Gently turning to the figurative west, one makes a hook sound, performs what's known as the Lan Chao Wei. Now this is double hand Barn, and Barn means ward off slanting upward. Yang means double, so this is Liang Barn, double-handed Barn. The ward off slanting up with the back hand pointing at the pulse of the right. The weight is on the right leg, 70%, 30% on the left leg, which is the yin leg. The hands gently turn to create Loi, which is the symbol of the earth after the heaven posture. The weight gently flows to the left leg as the hands float down to the level of the stomach. In the I Ching, Kun, the yin trigram, means the belly or emptiness where you store energy or food. So this represents the receiving, conceiving place of energy, which follows the yang posture of heaven. Now Jai, which is represented by the left hand pushing the right, symbolizes water. Now Jai is represented by the trigram Kan in the I Ching. Kan represents the hollow of the ear outside, with energy representing the kidney. So Jai is now at the level of the kidneys, and thereby stimulate the level of the ears, thereby stimulating the kidney energy. An is fire, which stimulates the heart. The hands come down to the level of the heart with the weight on the back leg. As you float forward, the hands rise up like flame, symbolizing fire. The small intestine and the heart meridian terminate on the little finger, and the small intestine meridian terminates at the level of the ear. Therefore the posture, the hands terminate at the level of the ear. Now we're going to do what's known as the diagonal Loi and diagonal An. So that's a sideways Loi and a sideways push. Loi, the weight's now on the right leg, and An. The Chen Shou Cheung of this posture, i.e. turning silk weaving movement, ensures that the chi is screwed down, turn of the body into the leg. Tan Pi, the single whip. This is a yin move where the breath is drawn in. I extend out, keeping the posture nice and square, into the yang part of the single whip. Hop Sao, which is always Loi, and the weight is on the left leg. I turn to create raise hands, Tai So. As I do so, I push the chi down into the foot, through the spine, up into the hands, which causes my imaginary opponent, my shadow opponent, to rise up, hence the term raise hands. This turns into pull down. And as I step forward, I bring the hand up at the level of the shoulder. The hand represents the mountain in the I Ching, because it holds fast. Therefore the hand is put here to show that you're as strong and as contained as a mountain. This in turn goes to elbow stroke, and terminates with a right-handed postured single-handed bar, tan bar. I'm now going to turn to do the crane beats her wings. Back hock, lung choi. And now yang, chi flows out to my right leg and up into the right hand. Hop sao, which is always yin. If you notice, the body turns, but the leg stays forward, with the knee pointing figurative east. Where I start the form is figurative south. I go forward into the brush knee posture, and then the twisting movement as the body and hand turn simultaneously. This exercises the spine by compressing and turning the spine rather like a rope being twisted. Raise the right leg, which is the symbol of a kick. Pull down. Now I'm going to play the guitar. Sol, fe, pe, pa. The weight's on the right leg. The heel gently touching the ground, as this is representative of a kick to the lower part of the body in the self-defense format. And play the guitar. The right hand points to number 3 point on the heart meridian. And the arms are rounded, as opposed to taiso, where they are inwardly placed. This is a rounded movement. This is as if you're playing a Chinese lute, which is the pipa. Hop sao is always yin. I breathe in. And now lao sao pu for the second time. I'm going to turn and do the brush knee and twist step again. Hop sao, yin. The weight is completely on the right leg, and the spine is kept upright. And I step forward for the fourth time into brush knee and twist. I play guitar by first raising the leg and pointing the hands at the ground, which represents a throw into the earth. Play guitar for the second time and hop sao. And the brush knee and twist for the fifth and final sequence of this particular section. Now I shall raise up and can do the posture known as Chin Pu Pan Lan Choi. I raise and do the back fist, and then push down on the yang outward breath. I create hop sao as an intermediary move, which is an in breath, and then the long penetrating strike like an arrow, which is known as the liver strike. I'm now going to close the form, or the first root, by doing Yi Feng Chi Bai, which is sometimes known as closing the door, or even closing the temple door. It seals the first root. I turn, in breath, and closing the first root, which is the earth, is the sub chi sao with my weight on the right leg, cross hands. The principles I have discussed can be taken through the rest of the form. I'm going to explain briefly and demonstrate some qigongs that you can do safely, but it's better to do them with the guidance of a competent and somebody who understands qi flow in the body. Briefly, qi is made by kidney energy, not the kidney itself, but the energy of the kidney, which is known in Chinese as Jing, which is the generative force of the individual. The idea of Qigong is to strengthen the leg, creating a firm base, a balanced center, and the upper level being clear. And this is done by taking the mind's eye, centering it at the Tan Tien, which causes this fire concept of consciousness to be put below the water level of the body, which is the unconscious. Therefore you're creating, as I said earlier, this energy, qi, which is steam. Qi in Chinese, the actual hieroglyph, is sun hitting a mountain and the steam coming off it. So there's a similarity between the heat of the mind, like the sun, going to the lower part of the body, which is where the kidney water level energy is, and the Qi rising. Now the Mung Ming gate is situated at the back between the kidneys, and is the controller of energy as it rises up the spine, and the Qi Hui, which is situated just below the navel, is at the front level of the Tan Tien. So here is the back, this is the front. If I can just show you some basic postures. This is the front of the Tan Tien, and that is the back. So you must stand shoulder width apart, the toes slightly turned in, as if you're standing on a Yin Yang circle, the knees bent, such that, as you can see by the crease in the trouser, the knee is directly over the toe. The spine must be kept straight, and the weight distributed evenly with the bent leg, the chest slightly hollowed, with the back slightly rounded. You raise the arms up as if you are holding a barrel. This creates a yin vortex on the inside of the arm and a yang vortex on the outside of the arm. Now if you stand for 10 minutes in this posture daily, it will assist the energy to build and to flow through the body. Now it is curious that as you're doing Qigong, the pulse rate will raise. The heart is therefore exercised naturally without any strain, like running or jogging. There is more oxygen absorption and carbon dioxide displacement because the body is not under any strain, other than the initial discomfort of holding a posture for 10 minutes. The breathing. As you breathe in through the nose, with the mouth closed and the tongue in the roof of the mouth, we do what's known as the reverse breathing, which is obviously the same practice as is in the Yin Yang form in the Tai Chi. As you breathe in, the diaphragm is raised, and the abdomen, from the in-breath, is drawn in. And the out-breath, you extend the abdomen, thus. One-legged Qigong, which assists the form in terms of the posture and the strengthening of the legs. The left, with the weight on the left leg, over the left foot, knee over the toe, the hips kept straight, the spine upright, the shoulders and hips again horizontal, the spine vertical, again the arms rounded. 10 minutes off this side, and 10 minutes as if you're holding a ball in front of you at the level of the Tan Tien, again with reverse breathing. Finally, a third Qigong, forward stance, 70% of the weight is on the left leg, 30 on the right leg. And this is the brush knee posture and twisting step out of the form. The left hand is down, and the right hand in tension is twisting. This not only compresses the spine, but it stimulates the lung and large intestine energy. The lung energy finishes here, and the large intestine there. So when you're doing the Qigong and in the Tai Chi, as the large intestine meridian terminates there, the level of the index finger is held at the level where large intestine meridian at the nose, like that. I'd just like to give you a quiet exercise seated to finish. This can be done cross-legged in what's known as the warrior pose. The reason it's known as the warrior pose is they didn't want their legs locked in if somebody should come and interrupt them while they were meditating, so they didn't lock the leg in. If you feel up to it and are flexible enough, you can do the half lotus posture. If you find that uncomfortable, you can do what's known as the Egyptian pose by just sitting on your haunches. Now the reason it's done is to cut the chi off from flowing into the legs. This is very simply to teach one to center energy on top for the masculine, and the female, the left hand on top. As you breathe in, begin the reverse breathing, draw in. As you exhale, you extend the Tantian. Now you can do this for as long as is comfortable. Let the eyes just concentrate in front of you, looking down your nose. Again with a straight spine, shoulders in the sockets, and the chest relaxed. And the tongue in the roof of the mouth. After a period of time, maybe whatever's convenient for your pain threshold at the beginning, you gently raise the hands up to the level of the top of the head. And as you do so, you think or imagine that chi is going up the spine and over the top of the head on the in breath. As you exhale, you imagine that chi is going down the front part of the body and back into the Tantian. And this is done in cycles of 4. So I'll repeat it again. Breathe in and think up the spine, synchronize the hand and the chi thought principle over the top of the head, through the eyes to the top lip. And as you exhale, gently let the chi descend down the center of the body back into the Tantian. Let's breathe in and out. In and gently out. This is known as fire and water breathing. The front meridian is the fire channel, the back channel is the water channel. This is as the heart is at the front and the kidney is at the back. And this cleanses these two main channels, at the front, the conception vessel, and the governing vessel at the back, which then allows the yang and the yin organs to be cleansed and nourished. I have been practicing and teaching Tai Chi for over 17 years, and the information that was passed to me through the Chinese masters by Master Chu has certainly been very beneficial for myself and my students. I hope I have imparted some of this information to you on this tape.